Good day everyone. So for this video po, we will be discussing about some of the problems na meron for chapter 5. So tapos na nating i-discuss yung lecture portion for the bonds payable. It has been uploaded in the YouTube natin at saka doon na rin sa Google Classroom natin. So for this time po, we will be discussing about some of the problems. Let us start with problem 5-3. So 5-3 na tayo mag-start since baka hindi maging enough yung time natin if isasama pa natin yung ibang problems na na-skip natin. So for problem 5-3, we are required to prepare the journal entries including any adjustments daw po for 2024 as well as 2025. Tapos memorandum approach lang daw yung gagamitin natin. Ibig sabihin, nung naging authorized tayo to issue the bonds payable, memo entry lang yung isusulat natin. So for our answer, memo entry na lang yung ilalagay ko. Hindi na ako magkukwento pa ng pagkahaba-haba, no? Tapos, straight line method of amortization yung gagamitin natin to amortize yung discount tsaka yung premium natin. Tapos, present daw natin yung bonds payable natin on the Statement of Financial Position on December 31, 2025. So, Marble Company was authorized to issue 12% bonds payable with a face amount of 5 million pesos on April 1, 2024. So, if ever we are going to use them or if ever na isusulat natin yung memo entry, ayan yung ikukwento natin that we are authorized to issue bonds payable worth 5 million pesos with 12% interest. At itong interest na to is payable semi-annually on April 1 and October 1. Tapos yung bonds daw natin is nagmamature siya ng April 1, 2029. So there are 5 years para sa maturity ng bond natin. So the entire issue was sold daw on April 1, 2024 at 98. So ibig sabihin at 98%. Less pa daw natin yung bond issue cost na 50,000 pesos. Then pagdating ng July 1, 2025, a bond worth 2 million pesos or 2 million face amount were purchased at saka retired. So, ibig sabihin ay binili natin or binayaran na natin itong 2 million pesos na bonds payable na to. Ang kanyang retirement price is 99 plus daw natin si accrued interest. Yan. So, start tayo. Dun, computein muna natin kung magkano yung pinaka net cash na matatanggap natin from the issuance of the bonds payable. Kasi meron daw tayong face amount na 5 billion pesos, multiply natin siya doon sa percentage na binigay sa atin which is 98%. Ayan. So multiply natin siya para makuha natin yung total. So 5 million times 98%, 5 million times 98%, that is 4,900,000. And sabi natin, kapag merong bond issue cost, si bond issue cost po pwede mo siyang idagdag sa discount if merong discount on bonds payable. Kung meron namang premium, ilalas mo naman siya doon sa premium on bonds payable. But overall, ang effect ng bond issue cost is napapababa niya yung pinaka present value ng ating bonds. So, si bond issue cost, nade-deduct siya doon sa pinaka-present value ng bonds natin. Kaya dito, less natin si bond issue cost. So, yung bond issue cost natin is 50,000. So, pag niless natin yan, makukuha natin yung net cash received or yung pinaka-cash na natanggap natin from this issuance. So, 4,900,000 minus 50,000, ang pinaka-net cash received natin is 4,850,000. So, double roll natin yan. Then, after that, prepare tayo ng journal entries for this transaction. So, journal entries natin, start tayo ng April 1, 2024. So, mag-start siya with a memorandum entry para doon sa authorization na mag-issue tayo ng 5 million pesos worth ng bonds payable. However nga, hindi ko na ikukwento, no? Kasi on the same date din naman, April 1, 2024, is na-issue naman nga po natin siya at 98 less the bond issue cost of 50,000. So, pagdating ng April 1, 2024 din, yung cash na matatanggap natin, yung na-compute natin dito, net cash received na 4,850,000. Tapos, credit tayo ng bonds payable. Bonds payable naman, always lang siya at face amount, which is 5 million pesos. So, yung difference nila, 4,850,000. So, 4,850,000 minus yung face amount na 5 million pesos, 150,000 yung kulang dito sa debit. Ito yung ating discount on bonds payable. So, siya si discount on bonds payable. So, saan nanggaling itong discount on bonds payable na 150,000? So, pwede naman ganun, kunin nyo na lang difference o kaya pwedeng, di ba kasi at 98, ibig sabihin merong 2% na discount sa kanya. So, 5 million times 0.02, so that is 100,000, plus mo pa yung bond issue cost na 50,000. Kasi sabi natin, pag may bond issue cost tsaka discount, ina-add sila. So, plus mo pa yung 50,000. Kaya naging 150,000 yung total discount on bonds payable natin. Ayun, ganun po siya. Tapos, ang susunod na journal entry is yung first interest payment. Ang first interest payment natin would be on October 1, 2024. So, magbabayad tayo ng interest, debit interest expense, credit cash tayo. So, semi-annual, no? Kaya 5 million pesos, multiply natin sa 12% na interest rate times 6 over 12. Kasi kung bibilangin mo naman yung pagitan between April 1 to October 1, that is 6 months. So, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So, 6 months yon. So, ang interest natin na babayaran is 5 million times 12% times 6 over 12. So, 300,000. Ang next interest payment na natin nito, April 1, 2025. So, April 1, 2025. Kaso, magka-calendar year end tayo ng December 31, 2024. So, dapat magkaroon tayo ng adjustment para dun sa accrual ng interest natin. Kasi merong 3 months between October 1 to December 31 na interest na hindi pa mababayaran. Kailan siya mababayaran? April 1, 2024 pa. So, merong interest between them, no? So, ilang buwan yun? October, November, December. That is 3 months. So, merong 3 months na interest as of December 31, 2024 na hindi pa mababayaran. Bakit hindi pa mababayaran? Kasi April 1, 2025 pa yung sunod na interest payment natin. Kaya dito, meron tayong debit for the interest expense, tapos credit for the accrued interest payable. 3 months yan, yung pagitan ng October 1 and December 31, 2024. Kaya 5 million pesos times 12% times 3 over 12. So, I think that is 150,000, pero compute pa din natin para sigurado. Times 3 over 12. So, 150,000. Tapos, ito din yung journal entry na nire-reverse on the first day of the following year, which is January 1, 2025. Bukod dito, gawan din natin ng adjustment etong discount on bonds payable natin na 150,000. So, sabi gamitin lang naman daw natin yung straight line method of amortization. So, ang kanyang date ng maturity is April 1, 2029. Tapos, na-issue siya ng April 1, 2024. So, ang years niya, 2024, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So, good siya for 5 years. Kaya for the amortization ng discount, so December 31, 2024 din yun, amortize natin si discount on bonds payable from debit, i-credit natin siya kapag in-amortize natin. Tapos, ang kapartner lang naman niya is interest expense. Ang computation nito, yung 150,000 na discount, divide natin sa 5 years. Kasi nga, 5 years from April 1, 2024 to April 1, 2029. And since April 1 na siya na-issue, dapat pang 2024 lang. So, from April 1 to December 31, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that is just 9 months. Kaya multiply mo pa siya sa 9 over 12. So, 150,000 divided by 5 times 9 over 12. So, ito yung magiging amortization natin ng discount for 2024. 22,500. So, 22,500. So, okay na tayo. Goods na yung ating journal entry for 2024. Next, let's move forward ng 2025. So, pagdating ng 2025, reverse natin to. Yung ginawa natin ng accrual noong December 31, 2024. So, first day yon ng 2025, which is January 1. Pag magre-reverse ka, babaligtarin mo lang to. So, itong interest expense from debit, i-credit natin siya. 150,000. Tapos itong accrued interest payable from credit, ide-debit naman natin siya. 150,000. Yan, ganyan lang naman yung ating reversing entry. Then pagdating ng April 1, 2025, magbabayad na tayo ng interest. And since tayo ay nag-reverse dito, pang 6 months din yung interest expense na i-record natin ng April 1, 2025. Kasi nag-reversing entry naman tayo. So, debit tayo ng interest expense, credit tayo ng cash. Pang 6 months din siya. 5 million times 12% times 6/12. So, ito ay 300,000. Yan. Tapos, bago tayo pumunta ng payment ng October 1, 2025, take note po na on July 1, 2025, bonds daw natin worth 2 million pesos ay na-purchase at retired. So, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng retirement ng bonds natin. At pagka nagkaroon ng retirement ng bonds, ang kailangan natin gawin is to update the amortization of our discount. So, dapat pagdating ng July 1, 2025, magkaroon ka muna ng amortization ng discount on bonds payable natin. So, before tayo mag-journal entry, computation muna yung ipapakita natin, no? Computation for the retirement of 2 million bonds payable. So, sabi, itong 2 million bonds payable ay na-retire daw siya at 99 plus accrued interest. So, at 99 plus accrued interest. Ay, before pala tayo mag-computation, hindi ko pala pa-journalize yung para naman sa accrual ng ating discount, ay para sa amortization ng discount on bonds payable natin. So, i-journalize ko muna pala yun. So, July 1, 2025. So, amortization lang siya. Ibig sabihin, since ang 2025 natin nag-start ng January 1, so up to July 1, ilang buwan yun? January, February, March, April, May, June. So, that is 6 months. So, i-amortize lang natin yung bonds payable natin for 6 months. So, debit tayo ng interest expense, credit tayo ng discount on bonds payable. Amortize lang natin siya for 6 months. So, ganito yung computation niya din. Yung total bonds payable na 150,000, divide mo for 5 years to get the annual amortization. Kaso July 1 pa lang, so 6 months pa lang yon. So times 6/12. Kailangan nga muna pala nating i-update yan bago tayo mag-compute. So times 6/12. So that is 15,000. Saka tayo mag-proceed sa computation. Para kapag nag-compute tayo, updated na yung ating discount on bonds payable. So, computation on the retirement of 2 million pesos bonds payable. So, alamin natin magkano yung magiging carrying amount ng ating bonds payable. So, yung bonds payable na i-retire natin is meron siyang face amount na 2 million pesos. Tapos, i-less natin sa kanya yung kanyang applicable discount. Para dito sa applicable discount, kailangan is makuha natin kung magkano na lang yung balanse ng discount on bonds payable natin. So, dapat makuha mo how much is the balance of the discount on bonds payable. So, dito yung starting balance ng discount on bonds payable, 150,000. Tapos, pagdating ng December 31, 2024, nag-credit ka sa kanya ng 22,500 nung inamortize mo siya. So, ileles mo yan kasi credit, 22,500. And, hanapin pa natin yung may discount. Ito, noong July 1, 2025, nag-credit ka ulit for 15,000. So, minus mo din yan. Ibig sabihin, 112,500 na lang yung balanse ng discount on bonds payable natin. So, 112,500. So, kukunin lang natin yung applicable para dun sa 2 million na ire-retire natin. Kasi itong 112,500, pambuong 5 million pesos na bonds payable yan. So, kunin mo lang yung para sa ire-retire mo, yung para sa 2 million. So, times 2 over 5. Ganun lang naman siya. So, times 2 divided by 5. Ibig sabihin, 45,000 yung applicable para dito sa bonds payable na nire-retire natin. So, minus natin, kasi discount yan, minus 45,000 para makuha natin yung carrying amount ng 2 million pesos na bonds payable. So, carrying amount nung 2 million pesos na bonds payable na ire-retire as of July 1, 2025. Yan. So, magkano yan? 2 million pesos minus 45,000. So, 1,955,000. 1,955. So, after that, kunin naman natin yung magiging total payment natin. So, kunin natin yung magiging total payment natin. Start tayo sa ating retirement price. Ang retirement price daw natin is 99 plus accrued interest. Bale, sa retirement price, 5 million times 99 2 million, sorry. 2 million lang pala kasi 2 million lang ang ire-retire natin. 2 million times 99%. So, 2 million times 99%. So, that is 1,980,000. Tapos, add pa daw natin yung accrued interest. Accrued interest lang ito para doon sa 2 million bonds din na ire-retire natin. Kasi ang huling interest payment natin sa kanya nung April 1 pa. So, dapat makuha natin yung accrued interest niya ng pang July 1. So, yung bilangin mo ilang buwan between April 1 tsaka July 1. So, April, May, June. That is 3 months. So, para lang din sa 2 million. So, 2 million times 12% times 3 over 12. Kasi from the last interest payment na April 1 hanggang July 1, that is 3 months. So, 2 million times natin yung interest na 12%. Tapos, times 3 over 12. So, 60,000 yung accrued interest para dito sa bonds na ire-retire natin. So, 60,000. Plus natin yan. Plus natin si 1,980,000 and 60,000 para makuha natin yung ating total cash payment. So, total cash payment natin would be 2,040,000. So, 2,040,000 yung total cash na babayaran natin. Then, after that, compute naman natin if merong gain or loss. So, para makompute kung merong gain or loss, ikukumpara lang natin yung carrying amount sa retirement price. So, ito yung carrying amount natin. Ang carrying amount natin is 1,955,000. So, kumpara mo lang siya sa retirement price. Ito naman yung retirement price natin, 1,980,000. So, kung mapapansin mo, mas malaki yung retirement price, mas malaki yung binayaran natin kaysa dun sa carrying amount ng bonds natin. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong loss on early retirement. So, meron kang loss kasi mas malaki yung binayaran mo. Loss on early retirement. Ang loss on early retirement natin, minus lang natin yan, 1,955,000. Actually, pwede mo na siyang ituloy dito, no? Next time, tutuloy na lang natin siya doon. So, 1,955,000 minus 1,980,000. Meron tayong loss on early retirement worth 25,000. So, negative siya dahil loss. Mas malaki yung binayaran kaysa doon sa carrying amount ng bonds. So, from this computation, saka tayo makakapag-create ng journal entry for the retirement ng bonds natin ng July 1, 2025. So, let us create the journal entry. So, July 1, 2025, magre-retire tayo. So, debit natin yung bonds payable na ire-retire natin. Debit, no? Kasi papababain mo siya kasi nga ire-retire mo siya for 2 million pesos. Yung face amount niya po, kulang na 0. Yan. Tapos, debit din natin yung accrued interest na ating binayaran worth 60,000. So, ide-debit mo siya sa interest expense, 60,000. Tapos, credit natin yung cash na binayaran natin para mabawasan yung cash natin. 2,040,000. Yan, 2,040,000. Ano pa ba ang kailangan nating i-journal entry? Yung discount on bonds payable natin. Ayun. So, yung discount on bonds payable natin is 45,000. So, di ba sa discount, usually nasa debit siya. So, kapag magre-retire ka, since aalisin mo na siya sa record mo, from debit, i-credit natin siya. So, credit natin si discount on bonds payable na 45,000. Tapos, check natin. So, kung makikita mo, 2,060,000 na yung nasa debit natin. Yung nasa credit natin, 2,085,000. Yung kulang dito sa debit na 25,000, ito yung loss. Ito yung loss on early retirement of bonds. So, pwede mo naman buuin. Loss on early retirement of bonds payable. Ayan. So, ganyan ang journal entry natin ng July 1, 2025. Nung niretire natin yung 2 million pesos na bonds payable natin. Then, after nito is itutuloy na natin yung journal entry natin. Ang next na journal entry na natin ito is pagdating ulit ng October 1, yung magbabayad ulit tayo ng interest. However, since nakapag-retire na nga tayo ng 2 million worth of bonds, ang interest na babayaran natin pagdating ng October 1 is pang 3 million na lang. Kasi 5 million lang yung total na bonds payable natin, di ba? Tapos ni-retire mo pa yung 2 million. So, ibig sabihin, 3 million na lang yung outstanding bonds natin. So, debit tayo ng interest expense, credit tayo ng cash. So, 3 million times din natin sa 12%, tapos times 6 over 12. So, 6 over 12 pa rin, no? Kasi yung binayaran mo ng July 1, para siya dun sa 2 million lang naman na ni-retire mo. So, hindi naman dito kasama yung 3 million na hindi mo naman ni-retire. Diyan sa 60,000 na yan. Kaya, 6 over 12 pa din tayo dito. So, 3 million na natirang bonds outstanding times 12% times 6 over 12. So, 180,000 yung interest na babayaran natin. So, ang next interest payment na natin would be on April 1, 2025. So, pagdating ulit ng December 31, 2025, dapat meron pa rin tayong accrual ng interest na hindi pa natin nababayaran. So, para lang ulit doon sa 3 million na natitirang bonds na outstanding. So, debit, interest expense, credit accrued interest, payable. So, 3 million times 12%. So, yung pagitan ulit ng October 1 tsaka December 31, kasi ayun yung hindi pa nababayaran, which is 3 months. So, times 3 over 12. So, ang hindi pa natin nababayaran na interest, 3 million times 12% times 3 over 12 is 90,000. So, kailan mo to babayaran? April 1, 2026. Kaya as of December 31, 2025, interest payable pa lang siya. And then, bukod dito, dapat ay i-amortize. Mag-amortize din tayo ng discount on bonds payable. However, ayan, magbabago na yung ating amortization ng discount on bonds payable. Kasi nga, nagkaroon tayo ng early retirement ng bonds natin noong July 1, 2025. And at the same time, July 1, 2025 din yung huli nating record ng amortization ng discount natin. So, kuhanin muna natin yung balanse ng discount on bonds payable natin. So, sabi nga natin, nag-start siya bilang 150,000. Kaso, nag-amortize tayo noong December 31, nabawasan siya ng 22,500. Tapos, nung July 1 din, nag-amortize din tayo, nabawasan din siya ng 15,000. Another na kabawasan sa kanya is nung nag-retire tayo ng 2 million na bonds, nabawasan din siya ng 45,000. So, as of July 1, 2025, 67,500 na lang yung balance nung discount on bonds payable natin. So, discount on bonds payable. Ang balance niya ng July 1, 2025 is just 67,500. So, 67,500 na lang siya. Tapos, bilangin mo, ilang months na lang ba ang natitira? So, ilang months na lang ang natitira. Start ka ng July 1, 2025 kasi ayan yung balance niya nun. So, for 2025, July 1 to December 31, meron ka na lang 6 months. So, 6 months na lang para sa 2025. 2026, buo pa yon, so that is 12 months. 2027, buo pa din, so 12 months din. 2028, buo pa din, so 12 months din. Pagdating ng 2029, April 1 lang siya, so April 1, 2029, that is just January, February, March, that is just 3 months. So, 3 months na lang. Ibig sabihin, 45 months na lang yung natitira. Sa 45 months mo na lang i-amortize yung ating discount. So, ulitin ko, no? For 2025, meron ka pang 6 months kasi July 1 yung start. So, July to December, that is 6 months. 2026, isang taon pa. 2027, isang taon pa, so 12. 2028, isang taon pa, so 12 din. Yung 2029, 3 na lang kasi hanggang April 1 lang siya. So, plus 3 na lang. Ibig sabihin, 45 months na lang yung remaining. So, divide lang natin to. Divide by remaining months. Ang remaining months natin is 45 months para makuha natin yung ating monthly amortization. So, 67,500 divide natin sa 45 months. Ang monthly amortization natin would be 67,500 divided by 45 months, 1,500. So, 1,500 ang monthly amortization natin. So, multiply natin to by months between July 1 to December 31, 2025. Kasi i-amortize natin siya no, ng December 31, 2025. So, yung huling amortization natin, July 1. So, bilangin mo kung ilang months yung pagitan yan. 6 months yon. Mumultiply mo siya doon para makuha mo yung amortization niya for 6 months. So, bali 1,500 times 6 months. 9,000 yung magiging amortization natin ng December 31, 2025. So, ito yung amortization pagdating ng December 31, 2025. Kaya ang journal entry natin para sa kanya, December 31, 2025, debit tayo ng interest expense, credit tayo ng discount on bonds payable for 9,000. Another method daw na po pwede natin gawin para makompute tong 9,000 na to is magbase tayo doon sa dati niyang amortization. So, ang dati niya kasing amortization is 150,000. Yan, 150,000, di ba 5 years siya? So, 150,000. 5 years siya originally, divide mo sa 5. So, that is 30,000. So, yung original annual amortization natin is 30,000. Original annual amortization is 30,000. Tapos, multiply mo siya doon sa proportion ng natitira pang bonds outstanding. Kasi itong 30,000 na to, para siya sa 5 million na bonds. So, multiply mo siya doon sa proportion ng natitira pa. So, yung natitira na lang, di ba, 3 million. 3 over 5. So, multiply mo siya dyan. So, times 3 divided by 5. Kasi yung 2, di ba, ay na-retire na natin. So, ito yung magiging revised annual amortization niya. Ang revised annual amortization, 18,000. Tapos, multiply lang ulit natin siya by the period ng July 1 to December 31. Kasi nga, 6 months lang yun, no? So, times 6 over 12. Kasi itong 18,000 pang 1 year siya, pang annual siya. So, times 6 over 12. Makukuha mo pa rin yung 9,000 na amortization natin mula July 1 hanggang December 31, 2025. Sorry, sobra ng 0. 9,000. Ayan, ganyan lang po siya. So, kahit alin dyan, no, pwedeng ito, magbibilang ka ng remaining months, pwede rin naman ito, nakabase doon sa original annual amortization. So, original annual amortization mo kasi 30,000, 150,000 divided by 5 years. Kaso, 3 million na lang yung natitira dahil na-retire mo na yung 2 million. Kaya yung revised annual amortization mo, 18,000. Tapos, since July ka huling nakapag-amortize, times 6 over 12 mo pa siya. Kaya, 9,000 lang yung dapat mong i-amortize ng December 31, 2025. Ayun. So, ayun lang naman yung hinihingi for the journal entries. Yung next na requirement is i-present daw natin yung ating bonds payable on the Statement of Financial Possession ng December 31, 2025. So, as of December 31, 2025, ipe-present natin yung ating bonds payable. So, yung bonds payable natin, yung face amount niya, yung natitira na lang, no? Yung natitira na lang, which is 3 million. Kasi na-retire na natin, di ba? Yung 2 million. Yan. Meron tayo ditong na debit na 2 million. Kaya 5 million minus 2 million, 3 million na lang yung natitira. Tapos, less natin yung discount on bonds payable. Discount on bonds payable. So, pagka ganito kasi yung ginawa mo, ayan, makukuha mo na yung balance niya ng July 1, 2025. 67,500. Ima-minus mo na lang to, si 9,000. Kaya ganun yung mas preferred na way ko, no? Kaso magbibilang ka nga ng months. So, 67,500 minus 9,000, 58,500 na lang siya as of December 31, 2025. And ulitin ko ito, pang July 1 siya. And nag-amortize ka pa nga ng December 31 ng 9,000. Kaya ima-minus mo pa yon. Ang matitira is 58,500. So, ito yung magiging carrying amount ng ating bonds payable or the so-called present value. So, present value of bonds payable as of December 31, 2025. So, sorry no, merong maingay na bata sa gilid ko. Ayan, so minus lang natin. 3 million minus 58,500. So, that is 2,941,500. Ayan na lang yung carrying amount ng bonds natin as of December 31, 2025. Double roll lang natin. So, that's it for problem 5-3. So, nakakaisang problem pa lang pero 30 minutes na, diba? Ayan. So, ayusin ko lang yung screen ko for the next problem. So, our next problem is problem 5-4. So, ang requirement din natin is to prepare the journal entries for 2024 and 2025 and present the bonds payable on December 31, 2025. So, on January 1, 2024, Laika Company issued 12% bonds payable with a face amount of 4 million for 4,200,000. So, as you can see, no, 4 million lang yung face amount ng bonds natin, pero na-issue natin siya, nakatanggap tayo ng 4,200,000. So, for this example, meron naman tayong premium on bonds payable. So, the interest is payable annually on December 31 and the bonds mature on January 1, 2029. So, madali lang to, mabilis lang kasi annually lang yung pagbabayad natin ng bonds every December 31. Tapos, yung bonds natin nagmamature ng 2029. So, yung pagitan ng 2024 and 2029, that is 5 years. So, 5 years yung maturity ng bonds natin. And pagdating daw ng December 31, 2024, bonds with a face amount of 1 million were redeemed at 95%. Ibig sabihin parang nagkaroon din ng early retirement or early redemption ng bonds natin pero sa halagang 1 million lang. Then the entity used the straight line method of amortization. So let us prepare the journal entry. January 1, 2024. So, pwede ka rin maglagay ng memo entry dyan para sa authorization and so on. Pero, normally kasi hindi naman na nilalagay. Yun no, nag-start na talaga siya sa issuance ng bonds natin. So, start na tayo doon. Debit tayo ng cash para sa halagang natanggap natin. Ang amount na natanggap natin is 4,200,000. Tapos, credit tayo ng bonds payable para sa kanyang face amount. Ang face amount niya ay 4 million. So, yung difference nila, 4,200,000 minus 4 million. Yung difference nila na 200,000 dito sa credit side natin. Ito yung tinatawag nating premium. premium on bonds payable. So, sabi natin si premium on bonds payable para siyang gain. Gain siya in a sense na mapapababa nito yung interest na nakarecord sa atin, yung ating interest expense. Kasi pag in-amortize mo yan, ide-debit mo si premium, tapos i-credit mo si interest expense. Since ang interest natin is payable siya every December 31 na yung susunod na journal entry natin. So, December 31, 2024, magbayad tayo ng interest. So, debit interest expense, nawala. Credit cash. For 1 year ito, no? Kaya 4 million, multiply natin sa 12%. So, pang isang taon siya. 4 million times 12%. 480,000 yung babayaran natin ng December 31. So, this time, hindi mo kailangan mag-record ng interest payable, no? Kasi sakto naman yung interest payment date, sakto siya sa calendar end or calendar year end. Kaya, hindi mo kailangan mag-record ng accrual ng interest natin. Kasi wala ka namang utang, diba? Yan. Then, bukod dyan, kailangan is amortize din natin itong premium on bonds payable natin. So, straight line method lang naman daw. So, December 31, 2024, then pag in-amortize mo to, from credit, ide-debit natin siya. Tapos, ang kapartner niya ay interest expense lang din. So, ito ay straight line method lang daw. Kaya si 200,000 na premium on bonds payable, divide lang natin sa 5 years. Kasi 5 years yung maturity ng bonds natin. So, 200,000 divided by 5 years. 40,000 ang kanyang annual amortization. So, 40,000. Ayan. Kaso, pagdating din ng December 31, 2024, yung bonds daw natin with a face amount of 1 million ay niredeem or parang binayaran din at 95. So, binayaran siya at 95. Ganyan. So, wala naman siyang accrued interest ng December 31, 2024 dahil nga ito ay annual payment din. Inisip yung sasabihin, no? So, wala siyang accrued interest ng December 31, 2024 nung niredeem siya kasi kakabayad mo lang din naman ng interest ng December 31, 2024. So, ang kailangan mo lang makuha dito is yung carrying amount ng bonds natin worth 1 million pesos. Kukunin mo siya para alam mo if meron ka bang gain or loss. So, compute natin yung kanyang carrying amount. So, yung face amount of bonds payable na i-redeem, which is 1 million pesos, add natin yung applicable premium sa kanya. Kasi kapag premium, ina-add yun, no? So, add mo yung applicable premium. So, magkano ba ang balanse ng premium natin? 200,000 siya, tapos nabawasan siya, nag-debit tayo ng 40,000. So, 200,000, nag-debit ka ng 40,000, 160,000 na lang siya. Tapos, kukunin lang natin yung applicable na premium para dito sa i-retire natin. So, 1 million lang yung i-retire mo, yung total na bonds natin is 4 million. So, times 1 over 4. Yan, 4 million yung total. Tapos, 1 million lang yung i-redeem natin. So, times 1 divided by 4. So, 40,000 yung applicable na premium sa kanya. Ulitin ko, pag premium, pina-plus po yan, no? So, pag premium, pina-plus. Kaya, ito yung magiging carrying amount niya. So, carrying amount niya would be 1,040,000. So, 1,040,000 is 1 million plus 40,000. Tapos, kumpara natin siya doon sa redemption price or retirement price natin, which is at 95 daw siya. So, ayan yung redemption price. So, 1 million, multiply mo lang sa 95%. So, 1 million times 95%. 950,000. So, mas mababa yung binayaran mo kaysa dun sa carrying amount ng bonds na niredeem mo. So, mas mababa yung binayaran mo, nakatipid ka, di ba? So, 1,040,000 minus natin yung redemption price na 950,000, meron kang gain. Gain on early redemption na 90,000. Ayan. So, nagkaroon ka pa ng gain, no? Same date to, December 31, 2024. So, pagdating ng December 31, 2024, i-redeem na yung 1 million na yan. So, debit mo na, bawasan mo na, 1 million pesos. Tapos, alisin mo na din yung applicable na premium sa kanya. So, si premium nasa credit yon, di ba? So, pagtatanggalin mo na siya dahil ni-redeem nga, dapat mawala na siya sa FS natin, i-debit din natin siya. So, debit premium on bonds payable. Yung applicable na 40,000. Tapos, credit tayo ng cash para sa redemption price. So, wala kasing accrued interest. Kaya, ayan lang yung babayaran natin. 950,000. And since meron kang gain, ang gain ay kinikredit. So, credit natin si gain worth 90,000 pesos. Ayan. So, ganito ang journal entry natin para dun sa early redemption ng bonds natin worth 1 million pesos. Then, ibig sabihin yan, ang matitirang bonds na lang sa atin, 3 million na lang. Kasi 4 million yung total. So, 3 million na lang yung matitira. So, gawin na din natin yung journal entry ng 2025. Since annual nga lang po ito, December 31 na yung susunod din. So, December 31, 2025, bayad ulit tayo ng interest, debit interest expense, credit cash. Ulitin ko, 3 million na lang yung bonds outstanding natin dito. Kasi nga, na-redeem na yung 1 million pesos. So, 3 million times 12%. Ang babayaran na lang nating interest ay ba't ganun? 3 million times 12%. So, ang babayaran na lang nating interest is 360,000. Ay, may election, wait lang. Ayan, hindi pala election, nangangampanya. Nakalayo na siya. So, eto na lang yung interest na babayaran natin, 360,000 na lang. Tapos, mag-amortize ulit tayo ng premium on bonds payable natin. So, December 31, 2025 din. So, magkano na lang yung balanse ng premium natin? So, balikan natin dito. Una, meron siyang 200,000. Tapos, nag-amortize tayo sa kanya. Nag-debit tayo ng 40,000. So, mababawasan siya. Then, another amortization, another na nawala sa atin nung nag-redeem tayo worth 40,000 din. So, 40,000. So, ibig sabihin, 120,000 na lang yung natitirang bonds natin. So, 2 ways nga ang po pwede mong gawin, no? Pwedeng dyan ka mag-start sa 120,000 na yan. And since dito, sakto rin naman yung redemption ng bonds payable, hindi ka mahihirapang magbilang kung ilang months na lang ang natitira sa kanya. Kasi sakto nga na December 31, 2024 lang din yung naging redemption ng bonds natin. So, ang natitira is 4 years pa. Kasi 2024 pa lang naman eh. Nasa 2025 pa lang naman tayo. So, 4 years pa ang natitira. So, divide mo pa siya sa 4. So, eto pa rin yung kanyang annual amortization, 30,000. So, 30,000 yung annual amortization ng premium natin. So, debit tayo premium on bonds payable. Tapos, credit tayo ng interest expense for 30,000. So, ang way no, po pwedeng computein mo yung balanse ng premium. So, 200 minus 40 tapos minus 40. Ang matitira is 120,000. So, sulat ko dito. Premium on bonds payable ng December 31, 2024 is 120,000. So, divide mo siya by remaining years. Years na lang ito kasi nga sakto naman, no? Sakto naman na 4 years na lang ang natitira. Kaya ito yung magiging revised annual amortization natin. So, revised annual amortization ay 30,000. Ayun yung ginormalize natin. Pwede rin yung dati. So, di ba dati original annual amortization. So, magkano yung original annual amortization natin? 200,000 si premium, dinivide natin sa 5 years, 40,000 yung original annual amortization. Tapos, multiply lang natin doon sa applicable na lang sa bonds natin kasi itong 40,000 pang 4 million yan. Di ba nag-retire ka na nga ng 1 million? So, 3 na lang yung natitira. 3/4. Makukuha mo din yung ating revised annual amortization. So, any of the two, you can do that po, no? So, 40 times 3/4, 30,000 din. So, di natin kailangan mag-proportion dahil sakto ngang December 31 naman yung interest payment date natin, nag-coincide siya with the calendar year. So, ayun, para sa journal entry. Ang next na hinihingi is to present the bonds payable on December 31, 2025. So, as of December 31, 2025. So, bonds payable natin, yung face amount niya, 3 million na lang. Kasi nga nag-retire tayo ng 1 million. Kaya 4 minus 1 na ni-retire natin. So 3 million. Add pa natin yung premium on bonds payable. Kung magkano na lang yung balance niya. So ang balance ng premium on bonds payable natin noong December 31, 2024, 120,000. Kaso pagdating ng 2025, nag-debit ka pa ng 30,000. So, 120,000 minus 30,000, 90,000 na lang siya. So, 90,000. So, bali, ito yung magiging carrying amount ng bonds payable natin of bonds payable as of December 31, 2025. So, 3 million plus 90,000. So, ang carrying amount ng bonds natin is 3,090,000. So, ayun yung hinihingi for requirement 2. So, that's it. Tapos na for problem 5-4. Next problem tayo. So, let's start with problem 5-5. This problem is kakaiba siya, no? Kasi adjusting entry ang hinihingi sa atin. So, si Anya Company daw po disclosed the following accounts on December 31, 2024. So, yung 12% bonds payable niya, ang due is on January 1, 2027. And kung mapapansin nyo, nakakredit siya ng January 1, 2017. So, originally, 10 years yung maturity ng kanyang bonds. Kasi from January 1, 2017, nung na-issue natin yung 6 million na bonds payable, ang due date niya, 2027. So, 10 years siya. Kaso, wala kang adjustment na makikita sa kanya. Ang makikita mo lang is yung January 1, 2024. At nung January 1, 2024 daw po, yung 3 million face amount ng bonds ay pinurchase, ibig sabihin ni-retire at 90. So, ang ginawa niya, nag-debit lang siya for 2,700,000. Parang ginawa niya since 3 million yung face amount ng bonds, ayan, 3 million yung face amount ng bonds, ni-retire niya at 90, 2,700,000, binawasan niya yung bonds natin ng 2,700,000. Nag-debit lang siya, which is mali, di ba? Dapat pag magre-retire ka, yung buong halaga, yung buong face amount yung ide-debit mo. Tapos, ide-debit mo din yung kasama niyang discount kung meron man, i-credit mo yung kasama niyang discount if meron man, tapos magkakaroon ka ng gain on early or loss on early retirement of the bonds. Kaya mali yung pagjo-journal entry ni Anya Company para dito sa bonds natin. Tapos yung discount on bonds payable, 300,000 daw siya ng January 1, 2017. Wala ring amortization na nangyari sa kanya, no? Diba dapat every year magkaroon ka ng amortization ng discount natin. So dito, wala ding amortization sa kanya kasi 300,000 lang yun nakalagay sa ating T account. So, ang requirement sa atin, compute the balance of the bonds payable and discount on bonds payable on December 31, 2024. So, compute daw natin yung balance ng bonds payable saka ng discount on bonds payable. So, the straight line method of amortization is used. So, start tayo. Yung face amount ng bonds natin, pagdating ng January 1, 2017 muna, is 6 million. So, 6 million siya. Then, pagdating nga ng, yung tamang balanse ang i-compute natin, no? Pagdating nga ng January 1, 2024, nag-retire ka ng 3 million. Diba, pag magre-retire ka, yung buong face amount yung i-deduct mo, yung i-debit mo. So, less natin yung retirement nung January 1, 2024, which is 3 million. So, ayan lang naman yung niretire natin. Ibig sabihin, ito na yung bonds payable natin at face amount ng December 31, 2024. So, face amount niya, ito yung balance ng bonds payable mo. So, 6 million minus 3 million, 3 million ang matitira sa bonds payable natin. Ang medyo mahirap i-compute dyan, yung discount, no? Kasi yung discount hindi nagkaroon ng amortization sa kanya. So, discount on bonds payable natin as of January 1, 2017 is 300,000. Tapos, computein natin magkano yung unamortized discount sa kanya. Hanggang January 1, 2024 muna, no? Kasi noong January 1, 2024 nga, nagkaroon ng retirement. So, ang kukunin lang natin from 2017 hanggang 2023. So, 2017 to 2023. So, sabi nga natin, no, originally, 10 years yung bonds natin. So, alamin mo if ilang taon between January 1, 2017 to December 31, 2023. So, hanggang 2023 lang muna kasi nga nagkaroon ka ng retirement noong January 1, 2024. So, kailangan makuha mo yung balance ng bonds natin dyan. So, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That is 7 years. Mula January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2023. 7 years yon. So, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That is 7 years. So, less natin dito yung ating unamortized discount. So, paano makuha si unamortized discount? Yung 300,000 na discount on bonds payable times 7 over 10. Bakit po 7 over 10? Kasi nga 7 years mula January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2023. Tapos over 10 kasi 10 years yung original period ng bonds natin. So, 300,000 times 7 over 10. So, ibig sabihin yung unamortized discount natin, yung hindi natin na-amortize mula January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2023 is 210,000. Hindi kasi siya nag-amortize for 7 years. So, ito yung discount on bonds payable natin pagdating ng December 31, 2023. 90,000 na lang yung dapat na balanse niya. So, 90,000 na lang yung dapat na balanse niya. Kasi kailangan mo yan, no? Dahil nga kinabukasan, pagdating ng January 1, 2024, magre-retire ka naman ng 3 million worth of bond. So, ile-less din natin yan. So, less natin yung applicable discount para doon sa ire-retire natin. So, si 90,000 times 3 over 6. Bakit 3 over 6? Kasi itong discount on bonds payable na 90,000, para siya sa 6 million na bonds. Ang ire-retire mo lang is 3 million. So, applicable discount for bonds retired. So, hindi na kasya sa screen natin. Paliitin ko na lang. Ay, ano ba yan? Sorry. For bonds retired. So, liitan pa natin to para magkasya siya. Yan. So, ang applicable discount para dun sa retirement ng bonds natin worth 3 million, yung mawawala sa kanya pag ni-retire mo siya, 90,000 times 3 over 6, 45,000. So, minus mo pa yan, si 45,000. So, ang una mong minus, ang una nating dineduct is yung unamortized discount for 7 years mula January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2023. So, nakuha mo kung magkano nalay balance ng discount pagdating ng December 31, 2023. Tapos kinabukasan nga, magre-retire ka ng 3 million na bonds. So, kukunin mo din yung applicable na discount sa kanya. So, dito sa 90,000 times 3 over 6 lang natin. Kasi 3 million yung ni-retire natin. So, 45,000 yun. Kaya yung discount na lang natin, discount on bonds payable natin ng January 1, 2024, after nung retirement natin, 45,000 na lang. Kasi 90,000 minus 45,000. So, 45,000 na lang ang balanse ng discount on bonds payable natin ng January 1, 2024. Kaso ang hinihingi sa atin, balanse ng December 31, 2024. So, magle-less ka pa dyan ng amortization of discount para sa 2024. So, si 45,000, ayan na kasi yung balanse, no? Binigay na sa atin. So, dyan na lang tayo mag-base. 45,000, divide na lang natin sa remaining years. So, ilang years na lang ba ang natitira? January 1, 2024 hanggang January 1, 2027. Kasi 2027 naman yung due date. So, 24, 25, 26. That is 3 years. So, ibig sabihin, 3 years na lang ang remaining maturity ng bonds natin. So, 45,000 divided by 3 years. So, 15,000 yung magiging annual amortization natin. So, 15,000. Ayan yung amortization mo for 2024. Kapag nagkaroon ka na ng amortization ng 2024, makukuha mo na yung balanse ng discount on bonds payable ng December 31, 2024. So, 45,000 minus 15,000. So, 30,000 ang balanse ng discount on bonds payable. Dapat yung correct balance niya ay 30,000 ng December 31, 2024. So, ang kino-compute mo, no, yung tamang balanse nung ating bonds payable saka ng discount on bonds payable natin as of December 31, 2024. So, ayan yung tamang balanse nila. Kasi mali-mali yung nakalagay doon sa T account natin. Yung naka-record sa atin. Then, requirement number 2, compute bond interest expense for the year ended December 31, 2024. Interest is payable semi-annually on January 1 and July 1. So, compute daw natin yung interest expense natin. Ang interest daw ay binabayaran every January 1 at saka po July 1. So, ang ino-note natin dito, since for 2024 ang pinapa-compute sa atin, nakapag-retire na tayo ng bonds natin noong January 1. So, ibig sabihin, 3 million na lang yung bonds na dapat bayaran natin ng interest. So, yung interest expense natin, annual na, no? Annual interest expense natin. So, yung 3 million na lang yung babayaran natin. Kasi nga, January 1, 2024, nakapag-retire ka na ng 3 million. Kaya, 3 million na lang yung babayaran mo. So, ang ating interest rate is 12% ito. So, 12% yung interest rate natin. 12%. So, 3 million times 12%. Ulitin ko, 3 million na lang kasi nakapag-retire ka noong January 1, 2024. So, 360,000. So, 360,000 yung annual interest natin. Parehas na yan for January 1 tsaka July 1. Pang isang buong taon na po siya. Then, after that, since meron tayong discount, amortization ng discount worth 15,000, di ba kapag mag-a-amortize ka ng discount, debit, interest expense, credit, discount on bonds payable. Kaya itong amortization ng discount, napapataas niya si interest expense. So, add natin yung amortization of discount natin. Amortization of discount on bonds payable. Yung 15,000 pesos. So, kailangan i-add mo siya kasi kapag ka-discount, mapapataas nun yung interest expense. Pag premium, mapapababa naman yung interest expense natin. Then, add lang natin siya. Ito yung ating total interest expense for 2024. So, 360,000 plus 15,000. I think that is 375,000. So, 375,000. So, ayan yung hinihingi for requirement number 2. So, next requirement, prepare daw natin yung adjusting entry natin on December 31, 2024. So, we should prepare our adjusting entry. So, medyo maraming adjusting entry ka na kailangang i-consider, no? So, unahin na natin yung para sa unamortized discount. So, para sa unamortized discount on bonds payable worth 210,000. So, ito is para sa 7 years hanggang December 31, 2023. Magpe-prepare ka ng adjusting entry mo December 31, 2024. So ito pang January 1, 2017 to December 31, 2023. Nakalipas na siya kasi December 31, 2024 na ngayon. So technically, sarado na yung libro natin mula January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2024. Close na yung books mo para doon. So, kung close na yung books mo para doon, hindi na po pwedeng interest expense ang kapartner ng discount on bonds payable natin. Ang adjustment mo kasi dito, dapat ma-amortize mo siya eh. Dapat magkaroon ka ng ng credit dito na discount on bonds payable, 210,000. Kasi nga, dapat ma-adjust mo siya. Kaso nga, itong 210,000 na yan, kung tama natin siyang ginagawa, dapat ang kapartner niya interest expense. Kaso nga, pang 2023 pa to. 2017 to 2023. Sarado na yung libro mo dyan. So, instead na interest expense ang ipapartner mo, since ang expense naman is nasa income statement siya, nakaka-apekto siya doon sa pinaka-net income natin, at yung net income natin, i-close naman natin sa retained earnings if tayo ay isang corporation. Retained earnings para siyang capital. So, instead na sa interest expense, dahil nga sarado na yung libro natin, ang kapartner niya ay retained earnings. So, retained earnings po ang magiging kapartner niya. 210,000. Bakit retained earnings? Dahil sarado na yung books natin para dito sa 210,000 na yan. Bakit? Kasi si 210,000 applicable siya from January 1, 2017 hanggang December 31, 2023. Ano na ba ngayon? Anong date ka nagagawa ng adjusting entry? December 31, 2024. Diba? So, close na po talaga siya. So, yung next na adjustment natin, ito yung para siya sa applicable for the bonds retired. So, bukod dito sa discount na dapat nating tanggalin din dahil nga tayo ay nagkaroon ng pagre-retire ng bonds payable, dapat i-adjust din natin to. Kasi 2,700,000 lang yun nakadebit na halaga ng bonds payable dyan. Eh di ba sabi natin kapag magre-retire ka, dapat yung buong face amount niya, yung buong 3 million. So yung kulang na lang kasi 3 million yung kanyang face amount nung ni-retire natin na bonds, yung dinebit lang natin dyan is 2,700,000. So yung kulang na lang na 300,000 yun dapat pa nating i-adjust. So December 31, 2024, dapat magdagdag ka ng debit dito na 300,000. So, si 3 million minus mo yung 2,700,000 na naka-record sa'yo. So, kulang ka pa ng 300,000. So, i-adjust mo pa yan. Kasi adjusting entry ang hinihingi sa atin, no? So, dagdagan mo pa ng 300,000 yung naka-debit. Tapos, adjust na din natin itong discount na 45,000. So, nasa debit yan. Kapag i-retire mo, i-credit mo siya. Kasi debit yung balance ni discount, no? So, since i-retire mo, dapat ilagay mo na yan sa credit. So, credit ka ng discount on bonds payable. 45,000. Then, check natin if meron ba tayong gain or discount on bonds payable. Kasi nga, nag-retire tayo. So, yung bonds payable retired natin, ang kanyang face amount, lagay lang ako ng space, ang kanyang face amount ay 3 million pesos. Tapos, yung applicable daw na discount sa kanya is 45,000. So, discount nililess yun, no? So, less natin yung applicable discount for bonds retired natin na 45,000. So, ito yung carrying amount ng bonds retired natin. Carrying amount of bonds. So, 3 million minus natin yung discount na 45,000. Ang carrying amount niya would be 3 million minus 45,000, 2,955,000 siya. So, 2,955,000. Magkano yung retirement price? At 90. So, kumpara natin siya doon sa retirement price. So, 3 million times 90%. Ayun yun, si 2,700,000. So, 3 million times 90%. 2,700,000. So, yung carrying amount ng bonds na ni-retire mo is 2,955,000, pero yung binayaran mo lang is 2,700,000. So, meron kang gain. Gain on early retirement of bonds. So, kumpara mo lang yan. 2,955,000 minus 2,700,000. Nakatipid ka ng 255,000. So, dapat meron kang gain on early retirement of bonds. So, dito yan. Ito yung kapartner niyan. Gain on early retirement of bonds, 255,000. Mapapansin mo, balanse naman yan. Pag tinotal mo itong dalawang to, discount on bonds payable, 45,000, tapos gain on early retirement, 255, 300,000. Balanse siya dyan. Pero ito yung totoong computation niya. Kaya tama lang yan. Na yung gain on early retirement natin na dapat may naka-record, 255,000. So, na-adjust mo na siya, no? Next adjustment. Ito, yung amortization ng discount natin for 2024. So, ito, for 2024 siya, open pa naman yung books natin for 2024. Pag in-amortize mo si discount, interest expense ang kapartner niya. Kasi nga, for 2024, ito, kaya December 31, 2024, debit tayo ng interest expense, 15,000 credit ng discount on bonds payable. 15,000. Unlike dito sa 210,000, 2017 to 2023 kasi yan, kaya retained earnings na ang ipapartner mo dahil close na yung books. Pero para dito sa amortization for 2024, ayan, na 15,000. Since 2024 ka pa lang din naman nagagawa ng adjustment, open pa yung book. Kaya interest expense pa ang pwede mong i-partner. Kasi nga, open pa yung books. Pag open pa yung books, ibig sabihin, di ka pa nagko-closing entry. Kaya may interest expense ka pa. Ganyan. And then, lastly, yung accrued interest payable natin. So, magkakaroon tayo ng accrued interest payable dahil ang payment natin, January 1 and July 1. So, yung July 1 to December 31, meron kang interest na hindi pa nababayaran. So, di mo pa siya nababayaran ng December 31 kasi January 1 of the following year mo pa siya babayaran. So, December 31, 2024. Debit interest expense. Tapos, credit ng accrued interest payable. 6 months din yan, no? So, 3 million times 12% times 6/12. Kasi nga, kinabukasan, January 1 mo lang din naman siya babayaran. Pero, ipe-payable mo pa din siya as of December 31, 2024 times 6/12. So, that is 180,000. So, that's it for problem 5-5. So, let us also try to answer problem 5-6. Si problem 5-6 is about naman siya sa bond refunding. So, bond refunding, ito yung mag-i-issue ka ng panibagong bonds para yung cash na matatanggap mo doon, gagamitin mo pambayad nung dati mong bonds na in-issue or nung dati mong utang. So, Mara Company reported the following accounts on December 31, 2024. We have premium on bonds payable for 50,000 pesos. Accrued interest on bonds payable is 180,000. Tapos yung bonds payable natin na meron siyang original na due date na January 1, 2019. Interest is 12%. Payable semi-annually on January 1 and July 1 is 3 million. So, ito, balance ng December 31, 2024. So, you can check naman if tama si accrued interest payable. So, 3 million daw yung bonds natin. Ayan, 3 million yung bonds natin, tapos 12% yung interest. Ito po yun. Since ang cut-off ay December 31, 2024, ang huling interest payment is July 1, merong 6 months, July 1 to December 31. Kasi yung parang kanina lang din, January 1 of the following year pa yung susunod na payment natin. Kaya tama lang, the accrued interest payable should be 180,000. Then on December 31, 2024 din daw, cash of 3,900,000 was made available from the new issue of 10-year 10% bonds payable with a face amount of 4 million. So kumbaga ito na yung cash na nakuha mo kasi nag-issue ka ng panibagong bonds noong December 31, 2024. Nakatanggap ka ng 3,900,000 para sa bonds na merong face amount na 4 million. So the cash received from the new issue was used for the retirement of the 12% bonds payable. So itong natanggap mo na 3,900,000, ginamit mo para ma-retire itong 3 million pesos na bonds payable natin. At ang call price niya daw is 102 plus accrued interest. Ayan. So, gawan natin ng journal entry yung para muna sa issuance ng panibagong bonds. So, ang natanggap mo is 3,900,000. So, December 31, 2024 yung new issuance. Ang cash na natanggap natin, 3,900,000. Magkano yung face amount ng bonds na na-issue mo? 4 million. So, credit mo yon. Bonds payable, 4 million pesos. So, yung difference nila dito sa debit side natin, 4 million minus 3,900,000. Yung difference nila, meron tayong discount on bonds payable na 100,000. So, discount on bonds payable, 100,000. Ayan. So, before tayo mag-proceed doon sa refunding nitong bonds natin or yung retirement nitong 3 million na bonds, kasi yung cash nga na natanggap mo yung gagamitin mong pang-retire dito, diba? So, check muna natin if magkakaroon ba tayo ng loss or gain on the early retirement of these bonds. Yan. So, binigay naman na sa atin yung data. So, bonds payable, retired, yung kanyang face amount is 3 million pesos. So, add natin yung premium on bonds payable kasi premium yan. So, binigay din sa atin yung balanse, 50,000 pesos. So, ito yung carrying amount of bonds retired natin. Bonds retired. So, 3 million pesos plus 50,000. Ang carrying amount niya would be 3,050,000. Tapos, ni-retire daw natin siya at a call price na 102. So, less natin yan. Less natin si retirement price at 102, no? Kaya, 3 million multiply mo sa 102%. So, 3 million times 1.02. 3,060,000. So, 3,060,000 yung kanyang retirement price. Pero yung carrying amount niya lang is 50,000. So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung binayaran natin kaysa doon sa carrying amount ng bonds natin. So, nalugi tayo dahil mas mataas yung binayaran natin. Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng loss on early retirement of bonds worth 10,000 pesos. So, meron kang loss on early retirement ng bonds natin. Then, kunin din natin yung total cash payment. Ang total cash payment is yung retirement price na 102 plus accrued interest daw. So, retirement price, na-compute na natin kanina, 3 million times 102%. 3,060,000. So, add pa natin yung accrued interest. Yung accrued interest, kinumpute na din natin kanina. However, given din naman siya, 180,000. So, ito yung magiging total cash payment natin. Ayan yung total cash na ilalabas natin. 3,060,000 plus 180,000. So, ang total cash payment natin, 3,240,000. So, yung cash na natanggap mo na 3,900,000, ito, si 3,900,000, yung 3,240,000, gagamitin mo pang-retire nitong bonds natin. So, on the same date, i-retire natin siya, December 31, 2024. Retire natin si bonds payable. So, debit natin siya, 3 million pesos. Since meron kang premium, yung premium, ang original balance niyan ay credit. Pag ni-retire mo siya, debit mo din. So, debit premium on bonds payable for 50,000. And since meron din tayong accrued interest payable, so naka-record na siya na accrued interest payable, parang babayaran na lang natin, no? So, credit din ang balance niya. Pag binayaran mo, debit mo din. So, debit accrued interest payable, 180,000. Yan. So, 180,000. Then, after that, ano pa ba ang kulang natin? Yung ating loss on early retirement of bonds. So, loss yan, debit din natin siya. That is for 10,000 pesos. Tapos, ang credit natin is our cash payment. Ito yung cash payment natin. 3,240,000. So, check mo, pag ba tinotal tong nasa debit, equal siya sa credit na 3,240,000? Yes po. So, ayan ang journal entry natin for our bond refunding. Una mo munang i-journalize yung pag i-issue mo ng panibagong set of bonds. Tapos, next naman is para dun sa pagre-retire ng luma mong bonds. Kasi sabi nga natin sa bond refunding, yung cash na natanggap mo from the issuance of a new set of bonds, yung gagamitin mo pambayad nung dati mong utang or nung dati mong bonds. So, that's it for problem 5-6. Next problem natin, problem 5-7. So, for problem 5-7, serial bonds na ito. So, White Company issued 8 million, 12% bonds payable on December 31, 2024 at 96. So, December 31, 2024 yung issuance niya ng bonds, no? Tapos, yung bond maturity daw are as follows. So, mag-start ang pagbabayad natin ng bonds ng 2026 and binigay sa atin hanggang makompleto yung buong 8 million pesos. So, sabi, prepare a schedule showing the annual amortization of the discount on bonds payable using the bond outstanding method. So, bond outstanding method ito. So, kunin muna natin magkano yung discount on bonds payable natin. So, ang face amount ng bonds natin is 8 million. Ayan. Less lang natin siya doon sa present value ng bonds natin. Present value of bonds payable. Kasi at 96 daw. So, 8 million multiply natin sa 96% para makuha natin yung kanyang present value. So, 8 million times 96. 7,680,000. 7,680. So, yung difference nila, ayun yung magiging discount on bonds payable natin. So, discount on bonds payable. 8 million minus 7,680. And discount on bonds payable natin, 320,000. Yan. So, itong 320,000 na discount on bonds payable, ayan yung pinapagawan sa atin, no, ng table of amortization. So, lagay natin, table of amortization. So, dito yung mga year natin. So, take note, no, December 31, 2024 na, nag-start or nagkaroon ng issuance ng bonds natin. So, yung start ng pag-amortize mo ng discount, 2025 na. Kasi December 31, 2024 na to. So, start ka ng 2025. So, 2025 hanggang 2031 yan, no? 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031. Ayan. So, hanggang 2031 yung amortization ng discount natin. Tapos, bond outstanding. So, kukunin natin magkano na lang bond ang outstanding for these years. Kung makikita natin, so, if mapapansin natin, nag-start pa yung kanyang maturity ng December 31 and December 31, 2026. Ibig sabihin for 2025, wala pa tayong binayaran, wala pang nag-mature na bonds. So, 8 million pa siya para sa buong 2025. Tapos pagdating ng 2026, December 31 na nga yung start ng payment ng 1 million. So ibig sabihin for the whole 2026, 8 million pa din siya. Kasi December 31 ka naman na start na magbabayad eh. So 8 million pa din siya for buong 2026. Tapos pagdating ng December 31, saka ka magbabayad ng 1 million. So, ibig sabihin, for the whole 2027, 7 million siya. So, 7 million siya. Take note no, December 31 kasi ang pagbabayad natin. Kaya yung bayad mo ng 1 million noong 2026, 2027 pa siya magte-take effect. So, ibig sabihin, for the whole year 2027, 7 million na lang siya. For 2027, December 31, nagbayad ka na naman ng 1 million. So, pagdating ng January 1, 2028, agkano na lang siya? 6 million na lang siya. So, 6 million na lang siya for 2028. Then, pagdating ng December 31, 2028, nagbayad ka na naman ng another 1 million pesos. So, nagbayad ka na naman ng another 1 million. So, pagdating ng January 1, 2029, magkano na lang siya? 5 million na lang siya. So, 5 million. So, take note, December 31 po kasi yung start ng payment. Then, pagdating ng December 31, 2029, another 1 million na naman yung binayaran mo. So, another 1 million na naman. So, 4 million na lang siya ng January 1, 2030. So, 4 million. Then, pagdating ng 2030, nagbayad ka ng 2 million. So, nagbayad ka ng 2 million pagdating ng 2030. So, start ng January 1, 2031, magkano na lang siya? 2 million na lang siya. Yan. Tapos, yung pagdating ng December 31, 2031, saka mo lang babayaran itong 2 million. So, magiging 0 na siya pagdating ng 2032. Wala na, no? 0 na. Kasi nagbayad ka na ng December 31, 2031. Then, after that, i-total natin to. So, total mo siya. So, 8 million plus 8 million plus 7 million plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2. Makikita mo, that is 40 million. So, 40 million ang total bond outstanding natin. So, create ka lang ng fraction from that. Gawa tayo ng fraction natin. So, for 2025, ang fraction natin, yung numerator, yung bond outstanding mo, yung denominator, yung total na 40 million. So, dito, 8 over 40. Alisin natin yung mga unnecessary zero. 2026, 8 over 40. 2027, 7 over 40. 2028, 6 over 40. 2029, 5 over 40. 2030, 4 over 40. And 2031, 2 over 40. Ayan. So, these fractions yung gagamitin natin to compute our amortization ng discount. So, ito yung ating discount amortization. So, ang discount amortization natin for 2025. So, ang total is 320,000. So, ganun lang palagi, no? 320,000 mo multiply mo lang sa fraction. So, 320,000 times 8 over 40, 64,000. So, parehas to. 64,000, 64,000. Dito, 7 over 40. So, 320,000 times 7 over 40, 56,000 dito. Ito naman, 6 over 40. So, 320,000 times 6 over 40, 48,000. 5 over 40, so 320,000 times 5 divided by 40, 40,000. And 4 over 40. So 320,000 times 4 over 40, 32,000. And then lastly, 2 over 40, so 320,000 times 2 over 40 is 16,000. So, dapat pag tinotal natin to, so, sorry, sobra ng 0. Ayan. Pag tinotal natin, dapat equal siya sa 320,000 na total discount. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ayan, equal naman daw siya. Yung sum niya is 320,000 din. 320,000. So, ayan na yung ating table of amortization. Diba? Very madali lang naman yung table of amortization natin. Tapos, interest daw pala is payable annually ng December 31. So, kailangan natin yon para sa next na requirement, which is to prepare the journal entries for 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027. So, start tayo ng December 31, 2024, nung time na na-issue yung bonds natin. So, ang natanggap natin is 7,680,000. Ayan yung cash natin, 7,680. So, debit cash, lakihan ko, debit cash, 7,680,000. Tapos, credit tayo ng bonds payable para sa kanyang face amount, which is 8 million pesos. So, yung difference dito sa debit side, ito yung discount natin. Discount on bonds payable na 320,000. So, yung next amortization mo na niyan is pang 2025 na. So, ang discount amortization mo is 64,000. Sakto din naman, no, na December 31 din daw po. Ayan, sakto na December 31 din yung ating interest payment. So, December 31. December 31, 2025, bayad tayo ng interest, debit interest expense, credit cash. Ito ay 8 million. Multiply natin sa 12%. Kasi yung bond outstanding natin ng 2025 ay 8 million. So, yung babayaran natin na interest, 8 million times 12%, 960,000. So, ayun yung babayaran mong interest for 2025. Tapos, amortize din natin to, yung 64,000 na discount amortization. So, December 31, 2025. So, debit tayo, interest expense, then credit, discount on bonds payable. Yun na-compute natin, 64,000. Ayun, ganyan. Ulit-ulit lang yung gagawin mo, no? So, pang 2026 naman. So, 2026, bayad ka ulit ng interest. So, debit interest expense, credit cash. Magkano ba yung bond outstanding natin ng 2026? 8 million din. So, ibig sabihin, parehas lang yung halaga ng interest na babayaran natin. 960,000 din siya. So, medyo minamadali ko na, no? Tapos, amortize din tayo ng discount. Ang discount natin na amortization for 2026, 64,000 din. So, ibig sabihin, ganito lang din, no? Ayan, ganyan-ganyan lang ang amortization natin for 2026. Yan. Ang 2027, magiging iba na. So, pagdating ng December 31, 2027, bayad ulit tayo ng interest. So, debit interest expense, credit cash. Ay, sorry, may nakalimutan tayo dito. Ayan. Sa December 31, 2026 nga din po pala, ay nagkaroon tayo ng bond payment worth 1 million. So, dapat mapakita nga pala natin yan. So, debit tayo ng bonds payable for 1 million pesos, tapos credit ng cash for 1 million pesos. Noong December 31, 2025, walang ganitong journal entry, no? Kasi wala ka pa namang binabayaran noong 2025. Ayan, 2026 yung start ng payment natin. Ayun, buti na alala ko. Tapos, pagdating ng December 31, 2027, bayad tayo ng interest. Ang kaibahan nga dito, since nakapagbayad ka na ng bonds worth 1 million noong 2026, pagdating ng 2027, ang babayaran mo na lang interest is yung outstanding na lang na 7 million bonds. Nabawasan na siya ng 1 million. Kasi nga nakapagbayad ka noong December 31, 2026. Kaya dito, 7 million na lang yung babayaran mo ng interest. So, 7 million times 12%. Times 12%. That is 840,000. Tapos, amortize din tayo ng discount. So, ang discount na amortize natin, 56,000. So, ganun pa rin naman mag-amortize ng discount. So, debit mo pa rin si interest expense, 56,000, tapos credit ng discount on bonds payable. Kaya si bonds payable, nakakapagpataas siya ng interest eh. Ay, discount. Si discount on bonds payable, nakakapagpataas siya ng interest dahil iyan, pag in-amortize mo siya, nagde-debit ka ng additional interest expense. Then, don't forget, magbabayad din tayo ng bonds ng December 31, 2027. Ito. Magbabayad ka ng another 1 million. So, debit ka ulit ng bonds payable, 1 million, tapos credit ng cash for 1 million pesos. Ayan. Tama ba? Hanggang 2027 lang. Ayan. So, that's it para sa problem 5-7. So, eto yung magiging susi ng tagumpay nyo dyan, no? Yung table of amortization. Tsaka wag lang kakalimutan yung payment ng bonds at their designated maturity. So, that's it for problem 5-7. Last problem na tayo. Ayan, nakita na may pamilya ko. So, last problem na tayo, problem 5-8. Ayusin ko lang ang screen ko. Sorry, I forgot to highlight. So, kapag tinanong ka pala dito, for example, 2025, magkano yung interest expense? So, ipa-plus mo lang yan, no? So, 960,000 plus 64,000. So, ang interest expense mo for 2025 would be, plus natin, 960 plus 64. Ang interest expense mo for 2025 would be 1,024,000. Tapos for 2026, ang interest expense mo, 960 plus 64 ulit. So, parehas, 1,024,000. Ang interest expense mo naman for 2027, so ipa-plus mo lang din yung dalawa, 840 plus 56,000. So, 840 plus 56. So, 896,000. So, kung tatanungin kayo magkano yung interest expense, dapat i-consider nyo yung amortization ng discount natin. As well as kung premium yan, dapat i-consider mo din. Kaso pag premium, nileless naman. So, I forgot to emphasize lang din, no? Basta kapag magpapakompute ng interest expense, dapat pati yung amortization and discount and premium, you should consider that. So, last problem na tayo, problem 5-8. So, prepare journal entries for 2024, 2025, and 2026. Yung bond outstanding method din daw yung ginamit as a way of amortization. So, parang wala tayong example ng fair value option dito sa book na to, no? Parang walang sample problem. So, on December 31, 2024, FAME Company sold 12% serial bonds with a face amount of 7 million pesos for 7,420,000. So, dyan pa lang makikita mo na meron tayong premium on bonds payable. So, yung issue price niya, yung natanggap natin is 7,420,000, pero yung kanyang face amount lang ng bonds natin is just 7 million. Kaya meron tayong premium on bonds payable na 420,000. So, premium para yung gain, no? Kine-credit naman natin yan. Pag i-amortize mo, ide-debit mo. Kaya nakakapagpababa yan ng interest expense si premium on bonds payable. So, the bonds mature in the amount of 1 million pesos on December 31 of each year beginning December 31, 2025. And interest is payable annually. So, every year din nagkakaroon ng tawag dito, maturity ng bonds natin. And every December 31 yung payment. So, December 31, 2024 tayo nakapag-issue ng bonds. Yung first payment natin ng 1 million na bonds payable would be on December 31, 2025. Tapos yung interest annually din daw po. However, on December 31, 2026 daw, the entity retired 1 million pesos of the bonds payable due on that date and in addition purchased at 105 and retired bonds payable with a face amount of 1 million which were due on December 31, 2028. So, pagdating daw ng December 31, 2026, nag-retire daw tayo ng bonds worth 1 million pesos pero due date naman daw niya on that date. Ibig sabihin, pang 2026 naman talaga yung kanyang retirement. So, wala kang problema doon kasi nag-retire ka ng bonds na 1 million tapos 2026 mo din naman siya ni-retire. Tapos 2026 din yung due date niya. So, anong problem? Wala, di ba? Kasi nag-retire ka sa mismong due date niya. So, there's no problem with that. However, in addition din daw, bukod dito, sa 1 million na bonds na ni-retire mo sa mismong due date din naman niya, nag-purchase ka pa daw at nag-retire ng bonds worth 1 million, pero ang due date niya dapat 2028 pa. So, ni-retire mo na siya ng 2026, 2 years advance, di ba? Kasi 2026 mo siya ni-retire, pero 2028 pa ang kanyang due date. So, 2 years advance po siya. 2 years advance or 2 years early ang kanyang retirement. Ayan. So, note natin kasi kakailanganin natin yan mamaya. So, before we prepare our journal entries, gawa muna ulit tayo ng ating table of amortization. So, sa table of amortization mo, ganun lang din naman ulit. Dapat meron tayong year, tapos yung bonds outstanding natin, tapos yung fraction natin. This time, meron tayong premium amortization. Kapag premium, nakakapagpababa yan no, ng ating interest. Mag-gitna lang natin. So, start tayo sa year natin, 2025. So, 2025, ito yung ating first year. Kaso, ang start ng kanyang pagbabayad is 2025 din. So, 7 years yan. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Ilan na to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Saba. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ayan. So, ang first payment daw natin ng 1 million, 1 million lang naman siya each year. Nag-start siya ng 7 million. Ang first payment natin is December 31, 2025. So, ang effect nun, pang 2026. Paano? Ibig sabihin for 2025, 7 million pa siyang buo. Since December 31, 2025 ka magbabayad ng 1 million, pagdating ng January 1, 2026, 6 million na lang siya. Tapos, December 31, 2026, magbabayad ka na naman ng 1 million. So, pagdating ng January 1, 2027, 5 million na lang siya. Tapos, pababa lang ng pababa. Kasi consistent naman na 1 million yung ating, 1 million yung nagmamature every year. So, pababa lang siya ng pababa. 4 million, 3 million. Ay, ano ba yan? Ayan. Tapos, 2 million. Then, 1 million. Tapos, katulad kanina, total lang natin siya. So, let's get the total amount. So, 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 28 million. Tapos, gawa ka lang ng fraction. So, ang numerator, yung bond outstanding, denominator, yung total. So, fraction mo ng 2025, 7 over 28. 2026, 6 over 28. 5 over 28, 4 over 28, 3 over 28, 2 over 28, and 1 over 28. Tapos, for the premium amortization, yung mga fraction na na-create natin, multiply lang natin doon sa total halaga ng premium on bonds payable. So, for 2025, 420,000 times 7 over 28. So, 105,000 dito. For 2026, 6 over 28 times 420,000. So, 420 times 6 divided by 28, 90,000 naman. For 2027, 420,000 times 5 over 28 times 5 divided by 28, 75,000 naman. For 2028, 4 over 28 times 420,000. 60,000. So, 60,000. For 2029, 3 over 28 times 420,000. 45,000. Then, 2030, 2 over 28 times 420,000. 30,000. Then lastly, for 2031, 1 over 28 times 420,000. 15,000. So, kapag kinotal natin si premium amortization, it should also equal 420,000. So, ayan, makikita nyo naman, sum niya, 420,000 as well. Double roll na lang natin. Then, anong next requirement natin? Prepare daw tayo ng journal entries for 2024, 2025, and 2026. So, start tayo December 31, 2024. Nung time na na-issue natin yung bonds, so ang natanggap natin is 7,420,000. Tapos, magkaka-premium tayo na 420,000. So, debit cash, 7,420,000. Credit bonds payable at face amount na 7 million. Yung premium, credit yon. So, premium on bonds payable, 420,000. Ang first journal entry natin for the payment of interest would be on December 31, 2025. Ilang percent ang interest natin? 12%. Ang bond outstanding ng 2025 ay 7 million. So, debit interest expense, credit cash. So, 7 million yung bond outstanding, no? Ayun yung basis mo. 7 million times 12%. So, magkano siya? 7 million times 12%. 840,000. Yan. Tapos, yung premium amortization natin, 105,000. So, kapag ka mag-a-amortize ka ng premium from credit, pag in-amortize mo siya, ide-debit mo siya ngayon. Kaya mapapababa niya yung interest expense natin kasi magkaka-credit ka sa interest expense, 105,000. So, kapag tinanong ka, magkano yung interest expense ng 2025? Magkano ang interest expense ng 2025? Ang sagot mo, 840,000 minus mo yung 105,000 na premium amortization. So, 735,000 lang ang interest expense for 2025. So, kapag premium, napapababa si interest. Di ba kanina discount, napapataas si interest. Pag premium, napapababa. And don't forget na magbayad ng bonds. Kasi December 31, 2025 yung start ng payment ng bonds payable worth 1 million pesos. Ayan, beginning siya ng December 31, 2025. Kanina kasi 2026 na yung start ng payment. Ngayon 2025. So, ulitin natin, December 31, 2026. So, pagdating, last na to, no? Kasi hanggang 2026 lang daw. So, pagdating ng December 31, 2026, magkano ang bond outstanding natin? 6 million. So, 6 million ang bond outstanding natin. So, dyan tayo magbe-base ng interest natin. So, debit tayo, interest expense, credit cash. 6 million na lang kasi nagbayad ka ng 1 million noong 2025 times 12%. So, 6 million times 0.12. 720,000. Yan. Tapos, amortize din tayo ng premium. So, ito yung premium amortization natin ng 2026, 90,000. So, December 31, 2026. Debit premium on bonds payable, 90,000. Tapos, credit, interest, expense. 90,000. Ayan. So, sa 2026 na tayo may additional info, no? Sabi, noong 2026, nag-retire ka daw ng bonds payable worth 1 million, which is also due on that date. Ibig sabihin, dapat talaga i-retire mo siya ng 2026. So, 2026 din yung due date niya kasi nga every year meron namang 1 million na nire-retire. So, pagdating ng December 31, 2026, eto kung due date niya yon, parang sa 2025 lang din, debit bonds payable 1 million, credit cash for also 1 million. So, kasi nga, due date niya ng 2026, niretire mo din siya ng 2026. Magkakaroon ka lang ng gain or loss kung meron tayong early retirement. Meron ba? Yes po, meron. Kasi sabi, in addition, purchase at 105 and retired bonds payable with a face amount of 1 million which were due on December 31, 2028. 2 years early yung another bonds payable na ire-retire natin. So, di ba meron tayong method ng pag-determine kung magkano yung halaga ng premium that is applicable for this bonds na nagkaroon ng early retirement. So, if we are going to go back to our lecture, makikita nyo na yung unang pinapagawa sa atin doon is i-determine daw natin kung magkano yung premium or annual premium rate natin. Ang annual premium rate, mako-compute mo siya doon sa premium on bonds payable na total, i-divide mo doon sa common denominator na 28 million. So, ayan yung annual premium rate. Premium on bonds payable na 420,000 divided by the total common denominator na 28 million. So, lagay ko dito, no? Annual premium rate. Yung 420,000 divide natin sa common denominator na 28 million. So, 420,000 divided by common denominator 28 million. So that is 0.015. Ay, nagra-round off. Dapat wag kang mag-round off. So 0.015. So ito yung ating common denominator. Tapos, multiply natin to by the face amount ng bonds na i-retire natin. So, yung annual premium natin. So, si 1 million, di ba 1 million yung year early retirement natin, multiply mo sa 0.015. So, multiply mo to sa face amount ng early retirement ng bonds. So, 15,000 yung kanyang annual premium amortization. Tapos, yung total premium naman niya, so, si 15,000 na annual, multiply mo kung gaano siyang kaaga. Diba 2 years early siya, sabi natin kanina. Kasi dapat 2028 pa siya, pero 2026 pa lang, i-retire mo na. So, 2 years early po siya. So, multiply mo siya by 2. So, times 2. Ibig sabihin, ito yung total applicable premium para sa kanya. 30,000. So, 30,000 yung total applicable premium para dito sa maaga nating ire-retire na bonds worth 1 million pesos. So, compute natin, bonds retired niya is 1 million pesos. Add natin yung applicable na premium, which is 30,000. So, ito yung kanyang carrying amount pagdating ng December 31, 2026. So, ang carrying amount niya, 1 million plus 30,000. That is 1,030,000. Tapos, kumpara natin siya doon sa ating retirement price. Ang retirement price natin is 105. So, less natin siya with our retirement price. 105 daw. So, bali 1 million times 105%. So, how much yun? 1 million times 1.05. That is 1,050,000. So, mas malaki yung binayaran mo kaysa sa carrying amount ng bonds natin. Ibig sabihin, meron kang loss. So, meron tayong loss on early retirement of bonds. Kasi nga, mas malaki yung binayaran natin kaysa doon sa carrying amount niya. Ang loss natin ay 20,000. Kaya kapag nag-journal entry tayo for the retirement of this bond, so same date yon, December 31, 2026, debit tayo ng bonds payable para sa face amount ng bonds na i-retire natin worth 1 million. Alisin na rin natin yung applicable na premium sa kanya. So, debit mo din premium on bonds payable. Kasi normal side niya, credit, no? So, para mapatanggal mo siya sa record, debit mo siya, 30,000. Tapos, ang loss natin, pag loss ay naka-debit. So, Debit mo yung loss na yan for 20,000. Tapos credit tayo ng cash para doon sa retirement price niya na 1,050,000. So, ayan pa ang journal entry for 2026. If want nyong gumawa ng revised table of amortization, kasi magbabago yan, di ba? Dahil nagkaroon ka nga ng early retirement. So, lagay natin dito. If ever lang gusto nyong gumawa ng revised table of amortization, so ito yung original premium amortization niya, di ba? Ayan. Ayan yung original premium amortization niya. Tapos, yung kinancel natin, yung canceled, yung tatanggalin dahil nga nagkaroon tayo ng early retirement. Yung kinancel natin, dapat ang due date niya is pang 2028. So, ang maaapektuhan yung 2027 saka 2028. Mababawasan sila ng tig 15,000. Kasi 15,000 yung annual premium rate natin. So, mababawasan siya ng tig 15,000. Kaya ito yung magiging revised PA na lang, revised premium amortization natin. Di naman pinapagawa, no? So, 105,000, 90,000, 2026. Pagdating ng 2027, 75 minus 15, magiging 60,000 na lang siya. 2028, 60 minus 15, magiging 45,000 na lang. Tapos ito, same pa din kasi wala pa naman tayong nire-retire na mga bonds mula dyan sa mga dates na yan. So, nabawasan siya ng 30,000. Kaya yung total premium amortization na lang natin dito, 390,000 na lang. Kasi nga, nabawasan siya ng 30,000 para dun sa bonds na nagkaroon tayo ng early retirement. So, if gagawa ka ng journal entry for 2027, dapat 60,000 na lang yung premium na i-amortize mo. For 2028, 45,000 na lang yung premium na i-amortize mo. Nagbago na siya. Dahil nga nagkaroon ka ng early retirement dito, una mo nang na-amortize or una mo nang binawas yung 30,000 na premium. Una mo na siyang dinebit. Ayan yung effect nun. Nabawasan yung premium amortization ng 2027 and 2028. Kasi 2 years early yung kanyang retirement. So, that's it para sa chapter 5. So, for tomorrow po, we will be discussing naman about chapter 6, which is the effective interest method. So, gagawa ulit tayo doon ng table of amortization, pero may consideration na ng effective interest rate and nominal interest rate. So, if you'll have any question, you can message me via my Facebook Messenger account. So, thank you and God bless po.